Okay, today we're going to talk about sanding. We're going to do a series of videos and this will be the first. So we're going to do a little introduction here and kind of give you an idea of how sandpaper works. And this will give you an intuitive understanding and make all the other videos make a little bit more sense. So how does sandpaper work? What is sandpaper? Okay, so sandpaper is media glued to paper, basically. And what is the medium? Well, it can be lots of different things, but for now, I just want you to think of it as a rock. Okay, this is just a rock. And how this works is just like this. I'm gonna take this rock and I'm gonna scratch this piece of wood. Okay? And if you notice, I've left a bunch of scratches in it, a bunch of divots, okay? So that is sandpaper. This is just one rock. Imagine if we took a bunch of these rocks and glued them to a piece of paper that were a lot smaller. It's going to scratch the surface of the wood, and that's the basics of sanding right there. So if we want to look at this chart up here, I have 80 grit, 120, 150, and 220. So 80 grit is larger rocks. The lower the number, the bigger the rocks will be, okay? And so if we're scratching the wood with larger rocks, what's gonna happen? We're gonna have bigger trenches or scratches left in the wood. And we wanna remove those trenches. We do that with smaller rocks. So we'll go over here to the 120, and now it's leaving even smaller divots in the wood. Now we'll go to the 150, and look how small these rocks are. Now the divots are getting really small. And finally, for this example, we're going to go to 220. And at this point, the rocks are so small that it pretty much just leaves a nice flat surface. So this is how I want you to think about sanding, because this is exactly how it works. Listen, I know sanding is most people's least favorite thing to do on their project. But if you go at it with an attitude of, oh, this is gonna suck, or this is gonna take forever, you're not gonna do a good job. So you need to kind of rearrange your brain and your thinking of sanding. It's really a pleasurable experience. You've kind of worked really hard on this project, you're just on the home stretch, and you want to take your time when you're sanding and do a really good job. This is a good time to listen to a podcast, listen to a Spanish language tape if you're trying to learn a new language. Take your time, set aside several hours, and don't rush yourself. Don't do a quick job because you're going to regret it in the end. And you've got this far making such a great project, you might as well finish strong.